Not entirely. I believe that definitely my work is informed by abstract expressionism, particularly in the Bay Area, because I am influenced by a lot of the local abstract expressionists. And where my work is informed by it is their concern with the physical properties of paint and how it acts, you know, on the surface, on the picture plane. That is something that my work definitely echoes, because I love the physicality of paint. I love working with it, smelling it, moving it around, mixing the colors. But they also, the abstract expressionists, adhered to a pretty strict, formal and rigorous set of standards, of rules that they followed. And the work was not at all referential. It was never about anything and had no content. So that's where we differ right there. Because as I've said many times before, my work is influenced by the connection between spiritual practice and painting. Yeah, that's a really good question, because I have to say that when the inspiration of my spiritual practice really took hold for me, and I made the decision to somehow try to convey that in paint, I thought it would be impossible, particularly with my first body of work, having to do with my spiritual practice, where I was exploring the profane and the sacred. And so coming up with how do I do that in paint was really quite a challenge. However, I was successful in doing that, and with my current work, my current body of work, which I refer to as clearing the path for practice, I think, at least for myself, creating the work, it's quite easy to see how that has evolved from metaphors that I've used to describe that connection. And clearing the path for practice refers to clearing the path both in spiritual practice and painting practice. And so the metaphor that I thought about to start with visually, that I could express myself in paint in, was once you decide to clear a path, I picture leaves and sweeping leaves away. So the metaphor of falling leaves is very recurrent in my current body of work. And clearing the path for practice in spiritual practice, the fallen leaves are a metaphor for kind of getting your act together, and by that I mean resolving any long-standing issues with your family, actually having the space and time to practice meditation in my case, and how that parallels painting practice is similar kinds of things need to happen, where you just set aside the outside world and decide to table that for a while you're in the studio, and also to cultivate the mental and physical space to actually work. Absolutely not. And the reason that I say this is, if you really think about it, you take two people, and any two people, and put them in front of a Robert Bechtel painting. And Robert Bechtel is a photographic realist painter. And so you place these two people in front of his painting, and no matter how realistic the image is, these two people will have two very different ideas about the painting and how they engage with that particular painting. And that is based on their individual backgrounds, their individual exposures to art, what each one thinks they're meant to do, you know, their definition, their personal definition of engaging with a work of art and even attempting to interpret it. So for that reason, I don't expect people to understand exactly everything that is behind my work when they just look at it without having read anything or heard anything about the inspiration behind my work. It is I think about a painting as an actual physical being, kind of almost like a human being. And so there's enough in the way that it expresses itself to the world, and I'm referring to a painting here, that I believe that a human being can, upon looking at this piece, at this work, can engage with it. One should really, you know, be in touch in one's own personal work with what's happening in the art world and or what the art media is giving its attention to. I really, really strongly feel that an artist should not contrive to come up with something new that mirrors those things. Unless, of course, you know, it is something that touches the artist personally and makes him or her feel moved to go in that direction and find some way of expressing themselves in their work that mirrors whatever is happening in the art world and the issues that the art media is giving attention to at the time. But for myself personally, because my spiritual practice inspires my painting, in my spiritual practice, things evolve very slowly and gradually, and so it is with my painting. The same kind of methodical evolution happens, and I really feel quite good about the fact that I find it to be a logical progression from the work I've done before, moving into the work I'm doing